Hey guys, and welcome to the channel. I'm Zemor, the Grim Daddy himself, and today's video is about the developer update for the upcoming patch All Things Wicked. Now, they did a PTB on All Things Wicked, and a bunch of different things were in there. Sable Ward, the new survivor, and the Unknown, the new killer. And as a result, they've adjusted a couple of things. So for Unknown, they have added the weakness duration now increased by 6 seconds when a survivor is injured by UVX, and they've changed the hinder effect when he hits them with an airborne UVX from 3% to 6%, and they've changed the blindness duration of Homemade Mask add-on to 60 seconds when it was 45. Now with Unknown, what it says here, they found it survivors were finding it hard to actually keep the weakness on survivors and down them. So I think this is a good adjustment. I mean, he's a new killer. People are going to not be 100% with him yet anyway, but it'll give people a little bit of an easier time on learning how to play the killer, I suppose. And the more encouragement to play him, the better. Then we have Pig. They've reverted the bear trap change. They've decreased reverse bear trap base time to 150 seconds. It was 180 on the PTB. I'm sure it was 150 before the change. They have not removed your inability to see the boxes though, so that might be a change that they change in the future. For Huntress, they've reverted her movement speed while holding her hatchet to 3.08 meters per second. It was 3.54 meters per second during the PTB, and they have left on the throwing buff that they've given her and the additional hatchets that they've given her. Honestly, I think Huntress is one of the killers that didn't really need a buff, so I still think this might get reverted in other ways, but we'll definitely wait and see. Now for Clown, they have changed Redhead's Pinky Finger add-on to limit your bottles to 1 instead of reducing your capacity by 3. Now this is pretty much bringing it in line with Huntress's Iridescent Head and back to what it was originally, because they have given Clown additional bottles. I definitely think this is a good change. I think Clown could be pretty sick if they hadn't changed this. Now, the first perk change is for Invocation Weaving Spiders. They've reworked it in a sense. So when you complete the invocation, and if you don't know what invocation is, I probably should go into that first. It's essentially you go into the basement, you cast a spell, you sit there for X amount of time till the bar progresses, and when it is finished, the invocation activates. Previously, it would be 15 charges on the generator, so generators would have 15 progress on there. However, now it is reducing the maximum progress needed to complete a gen by 10, and it's doing it all across the board. So essentially, all gens become essentially 10% done permanently. So that's interesting. I don't know if it is actually 10%. I'm assuming each charge is 1%, but I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But essentially, it's 10 charges are permanently on the generators and it can't be taken away from the killers, whereas before Ruin could completely destroy this perk essentially. Now for Strength and Shadows, they are changing the increased healing speed to 70%. It was 60%. This is the perk that allowed you to heal in the basement, so they've just made it a little bit quicker to use there. Very niche perk. If it did end up being overly used, I expect people are going to use that perk that allows you to see people in the basement. Is it Territorial Imperative or Territorial Behavior, whatever it's called? Either way, this is a perk that is a very clear counter to it, and I don't know if it's going to see much use, but again, we might see it quite a lot because self-healing perks are actually quite common apparently according to the DBD stats. And then the last perk one is Wicked. Now this, honestly, this perk is a worse version of Deliverance in my opinion. Your self-hook attempts in the basement always succeed, and when you're unhooked or unhook yourself, you see the killer's aura for 16, 18 or 20 seconds depending on the level. Now when it comes to this perk, I definitely see Deliverance being used instead of it, or at least with it, because when it comes to this perk, Deliverance works as long as you've unhooked somebody, and it works anywhere. This only works in the basement, and only works in the basement when you were hooked in the basement on your first hook. So, yeah, it's not that great. The aura reading side of it is okay, but at the same time, Kindred kind of fills a better niche than that, in a sense. I just don't see this perk being used as widely as things like Deliverance and Kindred, but I could be wrong. Now, at the end here, they're saying about a watch list. They're keeping an eye on the unknown because it's unknown how well he's going to do in the reality of it because he's a new killer. People are going to need to settle into him for a while. Same thing with Invocation Weaving Spiders. It's a brand new type of perk, so they'll need to see if they need to change that in the future. And with Pig, it's the same. You know, they're not sure how effective the buffs and nerfs to certain things are going to be. We'll definitely need to wait and see how Pig changes in this patch. I'm looking forward to it because I really love playing Pig. Now, in terms of the main changes that I would say, I think the unknown one's definitely done. Pig one maybe not as good as it should have been. I still think they should have removed all the changes they did to traps, including the one where you can see the thing. Huntress, I think they should have maybe removed more of the changes they did to her. I think Huntress was always fine. Definitely a strong killer no matter what situation, so I don't know why they felt the need to buff her. Clown, definitely needed changes done to it. But for the perks, I'm just not sure. I'm just not sure how good any of these perks really are, and I don't think we'll really know for a little while anyway. Either way, guys, if there was any changes that you think needed to be done that haven't been done, or any of the changes that have been done you thought were not necessary, definitely leave a comment down below. Like, comment, subscribe, all the usual stuff, and we'll catch you in the next video.